This is the Amoy Gardens living complex in Hong Kong, metropole of 8 million people. Here, the illness affected most of the 19,000 inhabitants. In Block E, 250 inhabitants grew ill from SARS. It is distressing that an epidemic can break out in an apartment block. Dennis and Stella too live in the neighbouring block. They are also worried about contracting this contagious disease.
First, I have already sent my daughter to stay with her grandma away from here until the end of the special school holiday. And the second, we are told by our boss to stay away from the office within this moment to see whether we have any symptoms appear.
In light of the epidemic, nothing in this city of millions is normal anymore. Offices are closed and traffic has reduced by half. The inhabitants rarely leave their houses. Safety masks cover people's faces. Children are especially frightened by this unfamiliar situation. Business life in Hong Kong has been severely influenced by the disease.
How
many percent of the business broke down?
The Metropole Hotel in Kowloon. From here, it spread to Hong Kong, and from Hong Kong further into Singapore and Canada. The virus was unknowingly spread among the hotel guests and visitors. How the virus was transmitted remains unknown. A hotel guest was brought to this hospital. The disease, which was unknown at the time, could easily have spread amongst the nursing personnel. More than 100 people were infected with it. Professor Leung treated the first SARS patients in this hospital.
At the beginning, people were not aware of that. So infectious. So the cross-infection happened in the hospital and at home. So nowadays, only 4 days ago, the government started to take action. And all over Hong Kong, you have, I would think, 60%, 70% people wearing this. For all enclosed area, like the airplane, like a house, I think one should be very careful because you're not sure or whether you have somebody carrying the disease.
The usually overcrowded public transport system carries far less passengers these days. The central business district is avoided unless absolutely necessary. Fear of the invisible disease can be seen on the faces of people in the street. Protective masks of all types are offered for sale on street corners. Schools around Hong Kong have been shut by the government. The kids cannot celebrate this unexpected holiday, however. All schools are being disinfected. Class suspension notices have been posted on all entrances. The classrooms are deserted, and so are the sports fields. In the Zai Kung vacation town and other such centres in Hong Kong, isolation is obvious. Entrance is strictly forbidden, and the gate guards wear hospital-type protective clothing. Here, the still healthy inhabitants of Block E of the Amoy Gardens complex have been quarantined for an undetermined time. Professor Leung is as puzzled as the experts about the way the disease propagated itself
Normally the incubation should be 4 to 7, 8 days. But we did see a few who contact somebody definite and then fell sick after even 3 to 4 weeks. It was very peculiar.
While the experts know little about how the disease incubates and spreads, the inhabitants of Hong Kong live in fear. In the studio of Swiss architect Remo Riva, work continues unabated. All employees wear masks, some also wear gloves. Riva has asked his employees personally to keep his business going, as many of his projects are bound to time schedules. His employees have the choice to come to the office or stay at home.
Wir haben vor einer Woche einen Fall gehabt in diesem Gebäude hier. In einem Stockwerk unten dran ist einer krank geworden. Natürlich wurden alle Leute nervös, denn alle brauchen den gleichen Lift. Man weiß nicht, ob man das bekommt, wenn man den Knopf berührt oder etwas berührt, die Tür oder so. Natürlich waren die Leute nervös. Einige sind nach Hause gegangen.
Meanwhile, in the Amoy Gardens living complex, more inhabitants are becoming infected. An ambulance collects those who have recently become ill. Every possible precaution is taken. Hong Kong is preparing for the worst. Hospitals have dealt with more than 3,000 patients with SARS, a press release said yesterday. The feared catastrophe has only just begun.